except in monosyllables that have no other vowel, as the, or proper names as Penelope, Phoebe, Derby. Being used to modify the foregoing consonants, as since, once, hedge, oblige, or to lengthen the preceding vowel, as ban, bane, can, cane, pin, pine, ton, tune, rub, rube, pop, pope, fur, fire, cur, cure, tub, tube. Almost all words which now terminate in consonants ended anciently in e, as year, yeare, wildness, wildnesse, which e probably had the force of the French e feminine, and constituted a syllable with its associate consonant. For in old editions words are sometimes divided thus: cleare, fel, le, knowled, ge. This e was perhaps for a time vocal or silent in poetry as convenience required, but it has been long wholly mute. Camden, in his Remains, calls it the silent e. It does not always lengthen the foregoing vowel, as glove, live, give. It has sometimes in the end of words a sound obscure and scarcely perceptible, as open, shapen, shotten, thistle, participle, meter, lucre. This faintness of sound is found when e separates a mute from a liquid, as in rotten, or follows a mute and liquid, as in cattle. E forms a diphthong with a as near, with I as deign, receive, and with u or w as new, stew. ea sounds like e long, as mean, or like ee, as dear, clear, near. ei is sounded like e long, as sees, perceiving. eu sounds as u long and soft. e, a, u are combined in beauty and its derivatives, but have only the sound of u. E may be said to form a diphthong by reduplication, as agree, sleeping. eo is found in yeoman, where it is sounded as o short, and in people, where it is pronounced like ee. I has a sound long, as fine, and short, as fin. That is eminently observable in I, which may be likewise remarkable in other letters, that the short sound is not the long sound contracted, but a sound wholly different. The long sound in monosyllables is always marked by the e final, as thin, thine. I is often sounded before r, as a short u, as flirt, first, shirt. It forms a diphthong only with e, as field, shield, which is sounded as the double e, except friend, which is sounded as friend. I is joined with eu in lieu, and ew in view, which triphthongs are sounded as the open u. O is long, as bone, obedient, corroding, or short, as block, knock, oblique, doll, women is pronounced wimen. The short o has sometimes the sound of close u, as son, come. O coalesces into a diphthong with a, as moan, groan, approach. OA has the sound of O long. O is united to E in some words derived from Greek, as oeconomy. But as being not an English diphthong, they are better written as they are sounded, with only E, economy. With I, as oil, soil, moil, noisome. This coalition of letters seems to unite the sounds of the two letters, as far as two sounds can be united without being destroyed, and therefore approaches more nearly than any combination in our tongue to the notion of a diphthong. With O, as boot, hoot, cooler, U has the sound of the Italian U. With U or W, as hour, power, flower, but in some words has only the sound of O long, as in soul, bowl, sow, grow. These different sounds are used to distinguish different significations, as bow, an instrument for shooting; bow, a depression of the head; sow, the she of a boar; sow, to scatter seed; bowel, an orbicular body; bowl, a wooden vessel. OU is sometimes pronounced like O soft, as quart; sometimes like O short, as cough; sometimes like U close, as could; or U open, as rough, tough, which use only can teach. OU is frequently used in the last syllable of words which in Latin end in OR and are made English, as HONOUR, LABOUR, FAVOUR, from honor, labor, favor. Some late innovators have ejected the U, without considering that the last syllable gives the sound neither of OR nor UR, but a sound between them, if not compounded of both. Besides that, they are probably derived to us from the French nouns in EUR, as honneur, faveur. U. U is long in use, confusion, or short, as us, concussion. It coalesces with A, E, I, O, but has rather in these combinations the force of the W consonant, as quaff, quest, quit, quite, languish. Sometimes in UI the I loses its sound, as in juice. It is sometimes mute before A, E, I, Y, as guard, guest, guise, by. U is followed by E in virtue, but the E has no sound. UE is sometimes mute at the end of a word, in imitation of the French, as prorogue, synagogue, plague, vague, harangue. Y. Y is a vowel, which, as Quintilian observes of one of the Roman letters, we might want without inconvenience, but that we have it. It supplies the place of I at the end of words, as thy, before an I, as dying, and is commonly retained in derivative words where it was part of a diphthong, in the primitive, as destroy, destroyer, betray, betrayed, betrayer, pray,